Good morning from Sydney, Australia. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet of ours. This is Ken Krell. I help people create marvelous, magnificent, and irresistible digital events. And it is my joy to be with you today. If you have questions, comments along the way, feel free and pop something in the comment area, and I will be delighted to respond to you. I want to talk to you today about being a class act. As I experienced something yesterday that blew me away from a friend of mine. Her name is Kim Walsh Phillips. And Kim did an event recently with multiple speakers. She invited me to speak on her digital stage, and I was delighted to do that. And I do that a lot with people. I'm asked to be on other people's stages to present for them, with them, to inspire their audiences and certainly uplift their business. And every now and then I get a thank you, or maybe I'll even get a thank you card. But Kim was remarkably different. Kim sent me not just a thank you gift, but a catalog upon which to choose from what I want that thank you gift to be, whether it was tea or an AirPod cover or eye shades, whatever. I mean, just really nice stuff, nothing incredibly expensive that was going to set her back a fortune because she had a lot of speakers, but thoughtful items that were just really, really a class act, a way of saying thank you and acknowledgement. I asked for nothing in return. In fact, my free gift that I offered, Vanessa, really interesting. A free gift that I offered, I set it up with an affiliate link so that she would get paid when people ultimately would invest in some of my upcoming events. So, hey, Sarah, how's everything in the UK? So I want you to understand that a simple thank you goes a long way. A thank you with something behind it goes even further. And there are many ways with which you can deliver that, whether you use a service like send out cards or banner season, whether you do something personally, whether it's even a handwritten thing you send out, even a phone call is nice to acknowledge. But something as simple as, and I'm sure this was automated, she had many speakers, something simple as, here's a gift, choose what you like, I want you to know how much I appreciate you, was really a great thing to do. And let's say something else. When you acknowledge others, that's a class act. And this isn't to pat myself on the back, although I can do that, but calling somebody out like Kim, for example, what she did, that elevates her. And guess what? It also elevates you to your audience. Because when you share other people's information and give attribution to it, it elevates you because it says to others, hey, Jay, it says to others that you're willing to share the spotlight. I got to tell you that my success is based upon the success of my students, whether it be Vanessa or Jay or Sarah or any of the others that have said hello to you so far or say hello to us so far. I shine because they shine. I couldn't do what I do without them. Otherwise, there's no audience, right? So when you serve them, when you work with them, when you acknowledge them, when you celebrate them, you win. Recently, I did an event and I was told by a respectable event producer that I was being very unprofessional because I had so many guest speakers, and there weren't so many, but in this person's perspective, I had a lot of them, and that it demeaned me as a presenter, it demeaned me as a coach, as a guide, because I was having so many other people on my stage. And I take exception to that in a big way. And here's why. I know my stuff. I love to share my stage with people that are even further advanced than me, that I want to learn from. Also want to share my stage with other experts that have credibility and have audiences that they can bring to my stage as well. For example, I had the world's #1 podcast producer on my stage. The world's top podcast producer. That's a heck of a great person to have on a stage if you're teaching podcasts, right? Those are the kind of people I bring onto my stage. So I think what that does is it actually, hey, Lauren, I think it actually celebrates who you are and honors who you are and honors your audience because it says that you are strong enough in who you are to share that stage. Look, listen, Opportunitython was an event that I did back in April of this year. 55 speakers. 55 speakers. I know those are 10 fingers, but 55. 55 speakers over 28 and a half hours nonstop. It's a heck of a legacy. And by the way, I didn't even present. I just hosted it. But sharing that stage and giving people a platform is what you as a producer can do. And by the way, you don't even need your own audience when you do that. The biggest thing I'll tell you is really to be a class act. Be a class act, look and care for other people, share them with others, And don't be afraid to be real at all. Don't be afraid to be real at all. Because what you can do, I'll tell you what, think about it this way. Collaboration absolutely is super important. Think about it this way, you guys. So many people are afraid as presenters that they don't have a message of their own, that they don't know what to talk about. And trust me, this was me. I spoke for other people for 39 years. I was their mouthpiece, selling their stuff, making millions for them. I made a lot of money. I mean, I did really, really well, but it wasn't my business. I was merely a cog in their wheel. I allowed them to expand because they could outsource to me to deliver for them. I would speak in the middle of the night sometimes on a digital stage so that they could sleep or they could do other things. So I was replacing them, which is awesome. It's an awesome model. I teach that model, but it doesn't build your business unless your business is that of a speaker for others. But here's the point. Even if you don't have your own stage, meaning you don't have your own platform, if you will, you can still have the stage and bring on other speakers to sell their stuff and have a piece of that action and share the profits. You do not need to be the guru. All you need to do is create the environment. It's that simple. Look, right now, I could bring somebody else on as a guest and say, by the way, here's, Sally Grant, and Sally's going to share with you this information. Bam, there's Sally. I created the audience. Sally shows up. We split the profit. So you, as a digital event presenter, as a digital event producer, do not need to be the one on camera all the time. Exactly. You create a stage, Lauren. Exactly right. Now, I'll tell you how I'm going to pivot this conversation is we're doing an event coming up in a couple of weeks. It's called the 5-day sprint to your 7-figure stage. Your 7-figure stage. And by the way, that name, great name, right? Thank you, Kim Walsh Phillips, because we brainstormed that. And she said, you should call it this, Ken. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I should. And I did. Don't be afraid to use other people's suggestions. And I love giving attribution. I think it's awesome to give attribution. I think it's fun to do that. I'll tell you, our Safari program, our high-end year-long Safari program is called Safari. And I wish I remember what the actual word stands for, but that wasn't my idea. I thought it was. It wasn't. It was Lynn Rose's idea. We were having a conversation. He said, you should call it Safari. Well, guess what? Yeah, it's because it's a journey. And it ties in with Pride, which is our Produce Ridiculously Irresistible Events 3-day program. So it really is fun. And we want people to be on that journey to success. So that's what it's all about. Anyhow, share that with folks. So coming up is your 5-day sprint to your 7-figure stage. We do a lot of sprints. I call them sprints because I think the word challenge, well, right now we're challenged enough, right? There's enough challenging out there. Let me give you a banner so you can actually go to the site of that. Go to 7figurestage.com. I've been able to get some great domain names. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Anyhow, what we're going to do over 5 days, and actually it'll be a little bit longer, I've got some bonus sessions built in as well, is walk you through exactly how to build that stage. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the one presenting. You just got to be the class act. Understand who the audience is, fill the room, collaborate with other people. And by the way, if you have an audience that would fit this sprint model and you want to help us promote it and get paid for it, come talk to me. So the bottom, because we're sharing this with others. One of the best ways to fill an event, by the way, in my view, is to collaborate with other people. My last event, Pride, Produce Ridiculously Irresistible Digital Events, was filled with zero cost out of pocket. Why? I work with other people. I work with other producers. Sharon Sheldon, for example, filled over 35 seats in that event. Now, I made nothing up front, not penny one, but did I care? Did I care? Thank you, Azim. You're a Furley. Success, activating freedom, amplifying results, and impact. Exactly right. Thank you for saving me. I appreciate that. Azim is a member of Safari, so he should know exactly what it means. And he saved me. I appreciate that very, very much. That's pretty awesome. Anyhow, so be that class act. Recognize that you do not need to be the person out there because you just don't need to be. And I've not been that person out there for many years. Now I am, and I'm loving it, but it doesn't have to be you. And by the way, you can have your own event and produce events for other people as well. I'm the kind of the intel inside for my protege group. My proteges are all producing events, and we're doing it as a joint venture. They're the face out front. So for Vanessa and for Jay and so on, they're the face up front, and I'm the guy behind. I'm like Oz, the Wizard of Oz. Some of them want me to be on stage, and I'll do that, but effectively, I'm helping them get their thing done. So it's the way things work these days. We need to be as creative as we can, and even if you don't have a tribe, you can leverage other people's tribes as well. There are people out there right now that do not have stages. They don't know how to set up their own stage, but they've got an audience. You can partner with them, produce the event for them, and then share the revenue. Because a lot of people don't understand how to do digital stages. And if you know someone like that, let's talk, because those are great ways in which we can all serve and create massive amounts of revenue as well. Right now, the digital stage is the only stage, frankly. And I dare say that it will be the only stage for a long time to come, and will still be, I believe, the ultimate stage economically, because your risk factor is so limited. I was having a conversation just a few minutes ago with an amazing woman. You'll get to meet her during the sprint, Erin Lohman Jack, and Erin was telling me about an event that she produced a while back, and the risk factor was really, really horrible for her. I'll let her tell that story, but you want to come and join us for the sprint. So let me tell you what I'm doing very interestingly for this sprint model, because it's something that I think you want to look at doing as well. And then we'll land this plane, because I have another call coming up. During your 5-day sprint to your 7-figure stage, your tuition is 100% free. However, there's a big however. You can only come in if you donate at least $25 to Cynthia Kersey's Unstoppable Society. Why? Because I love what she's doing. Why? Because other people need help. Why? Because it's a fun thing to do to make a difference in other people's lives. So there is a community in Africa, in Kenya, that we're supporting. It's called Nadaria. That's what our first safari is supporting. And I believe we're going to continue that along with 7-figure stage. $25 or more goes directly to the Unstoppable Society, that goes into services to help families, education, water, housing, health. By the way, $63 takes care of a family of 5 for 1 month. So I encourage you to do whatever you want. It is really effectively pay what you like, but it's really donate what you like. I don't think I can change the title of that inside of our shopping cart. So we get zero up front, nothing. So we're filling the room for nothing. We're still going to be doing Facebook ads and so on, but I think it's a good thing to do. Is it classy? I think it is. Now we want to encourage you to take the next step with us, which would be our VIP, which gives you recordings and a massive amounts of bonuses that are worth thousands of dollars. And that's we obviously encourage you to do that. There's a revenue stream there, of course, which we teach, by the way. But we want people to come on board. And we think that coming in from a nonprofit orientation is a great way to do it. Remember, be a class act. These days, certainly in the US and around the world, we've seen a lot of unclassy things going on. We've seen a lot of just behavior that is certainly not acceptable, and not what you would have seen in a nicer time back 10, 20, 30 years ago, when people were taught manners. Manners, I don't think that's even taught anymore. And that's a shame. But I think that when you can step above, as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. We want to go high. We want to go high with our quality. We want to go high with our message. We want to go high with our energy. We want to go high so people are inspired to be with us and emulate that. Give them that. Give them your heart. Give them your classiness, and you win. All things to all people. It may not be your audience, but if you can attract the people that are resonating with you, you can do nothing but succeed. It comes down to that. Anyhow, hope this has been of value to you. It's been great to talk to you guys and see you guys here, Lauren and Jay and Azim and Vanessa, Sarah. Great to see you, my dear. Sarah, I got to tell you, Sarah Arrow is a panic. If you can ever get on any kind of a call with her, she will leave you in stitches, absolutely in stitches. We're going to get this off the screen here. Anyway, so come join us for your 5-day sprint to your 7-figure stage. Go to 7figurestage.com. I would encourage you to do that now. The page is in process of being changed and modified. That's something else. Understand something. You will always want to be pivoting. I'll talk more about that probably tomorrow. You always want to be pivoting and modifying and enhancing and growing and changing and expanding, because at the end of the day, if you stay still, everyone will surpass you. what you did yesterday isn't good enough today. Yesterday, I'll tell you about yesterday. Last night I went to Circus School. I'm back going to Circus School. Years ago, I went to this Circus School in Atlanta, and we learned the trapeze, and we did the rings, and we had ropes and the silks. And she even had a tightrope about a foot off the ground so you didn't kill yourself. It was really cool and probably the best workout ever, because you're not just pumping something, you're actually doing something. You're not thinking about using the muscles in the way of, oh, and here's another rep. You're doing them because it's like, I've got to get my ass up over that pole, over that trapeze to be able to yeah, it's really cool to go to get that done. So you're thinking differently, and you're recognizing that, yes, you better work those quads, you better work those abs, you better work, the rest of your body. It's really, really cool. So I went back yesterday. I discovered from a friend of mine at the gym, told me that that's what he's doing. So I immediately signed up and went last night to an hour and a half program. Oh my gosh, I am so out of shape. So I just signed up. I'm going to be doing 2 sessions a week for the next 8 weeks. And it's amazing. I'm hurting, but it's amazing. And your body can do so much. So I encourage, by the way, if you're not doing Pilates, do Pilates. It will help you so much with your core. I will tell you that right now, but it's fun. And we will shoot some video from there as I progress. Not yet. It's embarrassing right now, but you will get to see some progression as I do that. So do new things, try new things, be different. So yesterday was my worst day at Circus School, right? Tomorrow will be better. Same thing with you. You'll consistently get better and grow, but you got to take that step. Do it in a wonderful way. Do it with your heart, and you'll always win. All right, boys and girls, a pleasure being with you. Proteges, I will see you in a few minutes. And my dear friends in Safari, I will see you this coming week. Keep rocking and rolling. I'm proud of you guys. And for those of you that don't know me yet, come get to know me better and join us for your new sprint with me, the 5-day sprint to your seven-figure stage. We'll talk soon. Be good. Take care. And let's see if I can land this plane in this beautiful way.